So today seemed like a great day to do a video on how I heat my entire house with a coal stove. We have had a long stretch of single-digit days along with double-digit wind chills. And so I'm super glad that I have this coal stove, because otherwise my propane bill would be sky high. And one of you guys requested to know about my coal stove. So I'm gonna start outside and explain what I got going on here. So I have to start with a little backstory though. About 10 years ago, I got this crazy idea to dig out the rest of my basement. This ranch house is it was a little over 2,000 square feet, and it had a very small partial basement, which the guy that built the house had hand dug after he built the house, decided he wanted a basement. So with buckets, he dug out and made a small little basement. Well, when we got here, I always wanted to have a full basement. So I got this crazy idea of building a Michigan basement. Then you can do some research on that if you want. But so what I did was I took my Bobcat and I dug a ramp going right underneath my foundation. And when it was all said and done, I had built this block outcropping here where the ramp used to be, and that became where I put my coal in. So let me show you how that works. I don't remember if this is actually part of my plan or if this just kind of happened and we made it work this way. But so this isn't the safest thing in the world. I'm just using a piece of sheet metal to cover this up, and my kids are very aware of this situation, and it probably would support a small kid but not an adult. But this is just what I've been using for years. This is where I store my coal. This will hold about 20 to 24 bags of coal. I go through about a bag a day, so this will last 20 to 24 days. So I stack my coal here, and I keep a small amount of wood here. If you know anything about coal stoves, you can't just start coal on its own. You have to start with some wood and then put the coal on top of it, and then once it gets going, you're good to go. But you have to start with wood, so that's why I keep some wood in here. This is actually my wood door. It's a window that lets light into the basement. And like I said, this used to be where the ramp ran. I'll try to put a picture here so you can see what it looked like. But this is where the ramp ran underneath the foundation. I built all this. I did all this block work and everything. But this is where the basement wall comes out. And then my coal stove sits right inside there. Every 20, 24 days, whatever, I come and put my coal here. And when I need a bag of coal, I just open that window up and pull it right through. I have a little bag of like dry pallet wood there that's cut up if I want extra help in starting a fire. The coal stove sits in there, and then this insulated triple wall pipe comes up through there. I ran it through the soffit there and vents out to the roof. And this happens to be on the west side of my house, which is even better because the wind typically comes from the west. So any drafts that might come in here just blows the heat into the rest of my house. And I've had many a time when the fire maybe got a little bit out of hand, kind of forgot about the drawer at the bottom that lets the air in, and I've never had any issues. So this insulated pipe does a real good job, and it's super easy to clean. And if you know anything about coal, you don't really have to clean your pipes too much because coal is corrosive and it just keeps them clean. So it's just awesome. I started out burning wood and did a lot of tree cutting and whatnot, and it's great work and the wood's usually free, but just with the busyness of life, coal is so much easier. You just order it and they deliver it, or you can pick it up, and then it's just easy. You don't have to go cut it, you don't have to store it. Also, wood is really hot heat, but it's not as steady of heat. Once the coal gets going, it just does such a good job of a steady heat. I get my coal through a local stove manufacturer. It's called hard coal and anthracite coal. I think it runs like $5 or $6 a bag. So for a month, if I go through a bag a day, that's only like $150. The bad thing about propane is when your furnace is on, it's pumping out that warm air, but then when it goes off, it just seems like all the air, the cold air from the outside seeps in, and you just never really feel that warm. This is a constant heat. You'll see when I take you down in the basement how all that works. So anyway, that's how the outside looks. Obviously, it's a little bit of climbing up and down to get that coal in there, but that's how I do it, and it's worked really good for me. So I'm gonna get this covered back up and we'll go inside. All right, don't mind the mess, but this is the addition. So the original basement was just about I don't know, 12 feet wide, and it went back into there. This was all, I think it was stone. I'm not sure what, can't remember what they had here, a stone wall or something. And then this is original. It only used to come down to here. It was a pretty shallow ceiling. And then in here is the propane furnace, and then a laundry room and stuff over there. This is where I dug the ramp. So this is where I would come in and out with the skid loader. And my original plan was to put the stove somewhere else down here. But because this was so narrow and we had to obviously fill this in, we could have blocked across here. But my whole plan was to get wood in here, to be able to put a wood stove in here or something. So we just decided to use this area where we had the ramp dug and just block it in and put the stove right here. That way it's kind of out of the way. It's a little bit narrow. Like if you're a big guy, it might be a little bit of a pain getting around here and stuff, but I make it work. So let me explain how this is all tied into our system and just how I go about dealing with the coal. So this gate I put here to keep kids out from getting against the hot stove. I put a little light here, which I rarely use. So this is my Daka stove. I didn't get this brand on purpose. It just was what was cheap, and this is what I got. And it's worked out great. It's over 10 years old. Here is where the coal storage is. And I can just open this window up and slide the bags right in here. So I use Lehigh anthracite coal, and this is out of Pennsylvania. They sell this in 40-pound bags, so it is really easy to handle. And these bags are pretty rugged. I've had them out a couple years in the weather before, and they still do pretty good. I apologize because the stove's running if it's a little loud. The nice thing about this hard coal is it's very little dust, so my basement doesn't get all nasty. So when I need another bag of coal, I just reach up in here and bring one in. Or if I need some pieces of wood, I have a little wood storage area here that I keep my wood in case I need to start a fire. My intentions are someday to make this look a little bit more fancy. Sorry about the cobwebs. Close it in a little bit, but it's catch-22 because if for some reason things get really hot, it's just more things that can catch on fire. I have this so it can't flip open because it had a tendency to draw a bunch of air, and this way it's a lot more controlled. I control all my airflow with the stove itself. That's the outside of the house right there, and this is a beam I put across here. This is the ash drawer, and I never dump the ashes unless they've had about 10 to 12 hours to sit in here. So I only have to add coal twice a day, and in a real pinch I can go longer than that. But I'm just going to show you real quick what I do when I come down to fire the stove. I do it twice a day, usually about 12 hours apart. I do it morning and night. When I come down, the first thing I do is empty the ash drawer. So it's already had time for any hot ashes to go cold. So I'm never putting hot ashes in my ash bucket, so I don't have a fire hazard. I always use a glove, but since I already have gloves on, I don't need to. So these are the ashes, and you can see there's some larger pieces still in here. I dump the ashes in my ash bucket and close that back up. You might have noticed when I dumped the ashes that the dust all went to the back of the stove. That was another unintended blessing with the way that I got things set up, because the filter for the stove is in the back. That's where the fan is sucking the air in. Because that filter in the back sucks all those ashes back there, it gets kind of dirty kind of quick. So I always have an extra filter that I can swap it out with when it gets nasty, so we can keep good airflow back there. And a lot of times I'll reuse those filters multiple times. I'll take it out to my garage and blow them out, and then that'll be my replacement the next time. If you're not familiar with how wood stoves work, there may be some different types, but the way this stove works, the fans in here suck air in through the back of the stove. That air gets circulated in between this outside and an inner wall, and that's where it gets heated, and then the fan pushes that air up into these ducts, and I have my ducts running into the system over there. I ran all this duct work and tied it in to my original propane furnace in there, and then I ran it to the whole house. This hot air comes into here. Some of the ducts go that way to part of the house. Some of them come over to here and run into the furnace, which also runs out that direction to some of the rest of the house. So the furnace does not run when the stove is running. I could shut these ducts off right here when I want to run the propane furnace, like if we're gone for a while or something. The ideal situation would be if you could have your return air going into the back of the stove. That way it's drawing the return air through the system like the furnace does, and then pumping the warm air out into the ducts like the furnace does. But because of logistics, it would have been really hard for me to get the return air ducted into the furnace. But it works out okay because I'm pushing air out through the ductwork, and then I'm sucking return air from just the room. So all the air from upstairs can get sucked down the stairway and can make its way to the furnace, theoretically. So it works really well. It's not just a standalone stove here that we're just trying to radiate the heat through the house. It's actually going through the ductwork. So once I dump the ashes, which I've already done, I open the door here and I rake all my ashes down. So I just basically stir these coals up. And you kind of got to do it fast, because if you take too much time doing it, the fire can die. Coal is so weird. It's kind of likes to be suffocated in a way. And so you kind of want to not waste a lot of time doing that. You just want to get the business done, get the fine ashes out. This is what I use to stir those coals up. When I originally bought this stove, it was only set up as a wood stove, and I called DACA, I assume that's how you say that name, and I asked I believe it was the owner, I said, is this stove able to run hard coal? Because hard coal burns hotter than soft coal. And he said, not technically, but a lot of people do it, which was kind of like between the lines was, yes, it can burn hard coal, but it's not really rated for hard coal. But anyway, they sell like a shaker grate for soft coal for the stove, so I got that and I put that in. But I don't really depend on the shaker too much. But when I got the shaker, I had to actually put this is the shaker rod, and so you shove it in and out and see how it knocks the coals down. I had to put that hole in there and do some assembly and whatever else. But you can see how that's starting to get hot in there because I have the drawer open. Yeah, that's some hot coals. So once I get all my ashes raked down, I add at least about a bucket of new coal on top. Spread it out evenly, and then we're good to go another 12 hours. When my ash bucket gets full, there'll be no hot coals in there because I only put cold ashes in there. I'll take the bucket out to the barn, and I have a system where I screen the ashes and save any of the bigger chunks, and then I come in and reburn those so I don't have waste. And then I just discard the ashes, the fine ashes. There's probably a lot of things I could improve with my system, the way I do it. Like I could make some actual steps that go up to that window to get the coal instead of cement blocks. I pretty much leave this damper set about right there. It just seems like it works really well. What's nice is if the wind really picks up and it gets really cold, the draft from the wind actually makes the stove burn a little hotter and keeps us warm even when it's really cold. And then when the wind is down, obviously the house wouldn't be as cold. The stove doesn't get as much draft and it doesn't get as hot, because it doesn't need to be as hot. So I don't have to mess with the air too much. It usually just stays right where it's at. And when I come down to shake the ashes down and add coal, I'm only down here maybe 5 to 10 minutes at the most. Sometimes I just come down if I'm in a hurry and shake the ashes down, dump them, add my coal, and leave. If the coals are hot, good and hot like they are right now, I don't even need to be down here. But if there's any doubt, I may wait 5 or 10 minutes with the ash drawer open, letting some real good air through there, and then they fire right up from the airflow, and I close everything up and we're good for another 12 hours. It really is low maintenance. Yeah, it's not as cheap because you can't get free coal. I can get free wood, but if you're looking for a way to save money, have a real good source of heat, then even if the power's out, you still have a heat source and you don't have the time to cut the wood or whatever, hard coal is a great option. If you have any additional questions about this system or how I do things, just put them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. It's hard to remember everything that might be interesting to you, so just hit me up in the comments. If you're interested, one of these days I'm gonna do a video on how I built this basement out and have some pictures. I didn't document it real well while we were doing it, but I do have a little bit of videos and photos that I can share with you. So anyway, I hope you guys got something out of it, and I'll see you in the next one.